Okay, good afternoon, folks. Hope everyone is well. Market has just opened. Okay, let's see how we get on today. So we have had some news earlier on which has caused that bit of a spike, and just be careful early on. That ATR is more than double what it usually is, so going to be a little bit wary of that. You can get yourself into a lot of risk there. So leg down, leg down. Let's have a look at this. We got two legs up. There's a kind of two legs back, but you got to be careful here. Let's see if we get a higher low here and a bigger channel. That ATR is really big. You got to be so careful. There is a possibility we've just got a leg and a leg, and then this thing's coming down. There was a second entry short there, but the trouble is it's such a big bar. It's just too risky. You couldn't even got a limit order on it, so if you put it a tick above and a tick below, I ain't risking 6 points, not a chance. That's more than double the risk I'm happy with. Well, it was a second entry short. You'd think it, but the trouble is there's not a massive amount of room to the lows. That's the trouble. So let's just get rid of that. I hope these bars settle down in size. We are coming away from here a little bit there, so this thing could have a break here. I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, there's a second and short. It's just too far from that EMA. I wouldn't be shocked if that gets taken out. That stop. I'd say it probably will. There is a second entry short there. Okay, just move quick. It is a second short, but it's just a little bit congested here. And these bars are large. It actually looked better on there. But, yeah, it did. There's actually been a couple of setups. One there. You could have took that one on the engulfing. That worked. That one worked. Trouble is these bars are big at the moment, so you got to be so careful. You get into a bad trade, you could lose $500 per account. My concern was there, because we're coming away from this bottom, that we trap some shorts. There's a little bit of congestion there. This bar here, there could be, if that triggers, there could be a fail second entry short, push up, take out that lot, and that lot of stops. It's a little bit congested here, just a little bit. That's what makes me a bit concerned. And same again on that chart there. It's just a little bit of congestion there, and that's enough just to keep me out of that trade. That little bit of congestion, the size of the bars now. This ATR is starting to come down already. It was, hey Chris, how you doing? Hey Karina, how are you? So yeah, this ATR is starting to creep down. So hopefully things will sort of get back to normal a little bit. So there was a couple of setups there. that I actually kind of liked. That one I thought was okay. Trouble is, just I'm not risking $600 or $6,000 on that. It's just too risky. You got to get that on a limit order, and it just crossed over, came straight down. And that one as well. It was a second entry short, but it is a little sideways. And these bars are a bit bigger. If that was a lot smaller, if that was a 2-point risk, I'd have taken that. But it was more like a 3.5 point risk. Yes, 3.25 point risk. Just a little bit worrisome, that is. Yeah, Thomas hasn't taken anything here. I actually don't think that was a bad trade. My only slight concern about taking that is we're starting to come away, and they're a little bit as well. Possible second entry short there. We're having a break, I think, anyway, so. It's very tempting. It is a second entry short, but it's just a little bit too above that EMA for me. We can get a lower high down here. There may be an option. H, how you doing? MD, how you doing, bud? So let's see what happens here. We've got a nice channel there, so I think it would be likely that this would come down and retest these lows. See if we can get a lower high through that EMA. Let's just get a sell order submitted chart ready, just in case. Okay, there's a lower high forming there, but we're still above that EMA, so it just makes it a bit risky.
Order cancelled.
Get rid of that order. It's going up a little bit further than I like. I think, really, if that thing was going to fail and come down, it'd have done it by now. But having said that, there is some support across there. You can see it. You can see it there, a couple of times there, and a little bit there. So let's see if this could be a leg and a leg. There's also a possibility of a range. Leg and leg up, leg down, leg and leg. That's what is contract consistency. I'm currently trading with one. Is that a micro? One mini contract. Does that mean I can't change it. Contract consistency. Okay, you're talking about trading rules, are you? Okay. I think all they're on about doing is keeping similar amount of contracts. So if you get onto a PA account and you trade, say, 10 contracts and you go for 2 points and you make $1,000, and then you do it again for $1,000, and then you do it again for $1,000, and you get up to $3,000, and then you go down to one contract for the remaining 7 days so you can get a payout. I think that's what they're thinking about when they talk about that. I think that's what you mean. So you just want some consistency, 1 to 3 contracts, 1 to 4 contracts, something like that. But I think what they're on about doing it when they talk about that is just to stop people going maxing out on contracts, hitting their payment target, and then reducing it dramatically just to tick the days off. I think that's what you mean, bud. So let's have a look here. So you trade in one contract, that's fine. I wouldn't be concerned about doing 1 to 4 contracts. They're just all they're trying to do is stop people trying to get lucky, and then because anyone can close your eyes and buy and sell a trade and get lucky, and if you do that 2.5 to 3 times at max contracts, you can get to payment level. And what they don't want is that happening, and then obviously people reducing it to a micro or a mini and then getting in and getting out straight away. So they just want to see some consistency, because I think the ultimate goal is that they're going to copy your trade. So you can't copy someone who's kind of getting lucky, you know what I mean? Okay, so we got a channel moving up there. So this, when I say this is a range, the reason I'm thinking range is because this channel came down with and had a break and just continued up. So I'm guessing that this is likely, or traders are looking at this as a range. So let's put that like that. And it would kind of make sense, wouldn't it? So let's see if this turns. Let's see if we get a second entry long and it triggers some traders or traps some traders. So there is a possibility, a leg and a leg, and we have another leg up. See, I wouldn't be thinking about going long at the moment just because of this. So let's see if we get a bullish bar here that triggers. May well go up, but I'm staying out of this at the moment just because of this. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so this chart, there's a really big bullish bar, 26. That's massive. Okay, this to me looks like it's likely going to trigger out some traders. Okay, so if you took this there, it triggered you and then stopped you out. But because of the size of it, you'd have probably got, you may have got your 2 points there. Okay, there's a leg. We've got a matching top there, so there's a leg and a leg. Let's see if this one works, or is this going to trap traders? I'm not thinking, because 1, 2, 3, we're making attempts to go up and we're struggling. This looks like it's sucking in longs to me. So there is a second entry short there, but it's a bit congested. That probably worked, that. Hey Chad, how you doing, buddy? ATR, yeah, it is. Tempted to go short there. There's a failure and a lower high, but just looking at this picture, it's congested to hell at the moment. We got no news coming up, so that's okay. Yeah, you got to be careful here. You can get stuffed. There's a bunch of traps there. If you went long there, you're still okay at the moment. So that second entry long triggered you, came back, didn't stop you out. So I think the long is likely to come up here. I did wonder when we've had 1, 2, 3 attempts to go higher. So in fact, there's a channel there with a break of it. See if there was a lower high there. See if we trigger longs here. There's going to be some stops under there for sure. Let's see if this triggers long. It has done. That's tempting. It's going to break below there for sure, that is. Yeah, as the trouble is, massive bar. So we got channel down, break, lower high. The trouble is, it's such a big bar. It's just too risky to take, that is. I had a pretty good idea what was going on. Channel with the break, lower high and down. Trouble is, that was a big bar. I've got it in trades like that before. Sometimes the emotions kick in. But I mean, look at the thing. It's 5 points. I'm not risking $5,000 on one trade. But if you took that, good on you. You can see what's happening. It's clearly struggling to get up. It's tried once, twice, 3 times. We've got a channel with a break. There's going to be a bunch of stops there. And then down. So if that had been less points, I'd have taken that one. You could have even got on a limit order because you could pretty see what was going on. We've got a channel down there. Second entry long. There's going to be longs in there. 1, 2, 3. May even consider that a triple test. There's probably going to be more longs in there, and it was going to eat all that up. And this is looking rangy to me. So if that had been smaller, I'd have jumped on that. But I'm just not risking that much. Not on a Friday. I'm not risking $500. Yeah. That's a new name. Periphery, is that right? You said, hi, how are you? How are you? New face. Where are you from? It's nice to have some new faces. And I don't think I've seen your name before. So it's a shame about that. That was a nice trade, but I'm just not risking that much. So let's just put a mark there. So this is looking very rangy, which is okay. I don't mind a range. So we've got a channel down with a break. Now let's see if we can get something here, maybe. Oh. This ATR's come down good. That's a good positive note. Just check there's nothing larger going on here. I don't think there is. There may be. It's a bit too shallow for me, that is. Get a bit steeper than that. What parameters do I use at the moment, Bud? I've just got it to, I do a 12 tick stop so I can adjust it accordingly, and just an 8 tick profit. So that's what I go for at the moment. Don't get me wrong, I think 10 ticks or 12 ticks is probably going to work 9 times out of 10. Maybe a little bit more, certainly. Yeah, but just at the moment, I'm quite glad to get me $200 and just build me account. So yeah, I tend to just go for a 12 tick stop and then just adjusting the. I just want it away from price, just enough, just in case we get a little bit of spike. And oh, sorry, mate. ATR. What do you mean? What parameters do I use? You on about what I go points wise based on what the ATR is? Which range parameters. Are you on about depending what it is, how I choose my profits? To be honest with you, mate, regardless of what it is, I always go for 2 points. I know some people, I've heard Thomas Wade talking about how much he goes for, but I've never really seen him take less than 2 points, unless there's not enough space for the lows. So I tend to not bother too much with it, mate. I like to try and get my 2 points. When it's high, I either don't take the trade or I try and get in on a limit order anyway. So, sorry, mate, I thought you meant the ATM. Yeah, I don't tend to have something, if it's below 2, I go for 6 ticks. If it's above 2.5, I just tend to go for 2 points. But when it gets very close to 2 points, usually I'll drop my stop in a break even or break even in a tick. Because when it's most of the way there, a tick or 2 away, I just, you just like to just cover your arse, really. So there is a lower high there, but same again, it's 15 ticks. It's probably going to, I was going to say, it's probably going to take out that. There's a little bit of a liquidity grab there, leg and a leg. But I just don't want to take 15 ticks. It came across, pushed up, and then came down, so you couldn't have got in on a limit order. But I think there's a good chance it's coming down here. And I think if we put a measured move on it, yeah, it's pretty much showing where it's going. There is a bit of support there, so just a touch across there, but I don't think that'll make much of a difference apart from a little bounce maybe. Came into the market frustrated after an argument down 700, but I've switched it off now. At least I can walk away. That's a good plus, that is, if you can do that. I always found that really hard to do, and if I ever did walk away, I usually came back. But what I've noticed, just I've got this guardian angel trader, okay? So I'm pretty sure this is just unique to Guardian Angel Trader. See this button here, stop trading? If I hit that button now, it will not allow me to take a trade for the rest of the day. So it's kind of like a panic button. If you lose 2, let's say, for instance, you've lost a bit more than you think and you think you're going on tilt. If you hit that button there, it'll stop me trading for the rest of the day. So it's like a, call it like a panic button. If you think you're losing control or something's not right, or you have a little moment of clarity, a little moment of, sorry, is that what you wanted to know? Comes with a patch tool. Sorry, bud. Yeah, I comes with a patch tool. Yeah, it does. Sorry. Yeah, so that little stop button stops your trading. As soon as you press it, it locks everything out until for the rest of the day. So it's you know, you get a little moment of clarity that you can say to yourself, I shouldn't really be trading. You hit that button and it blocks you out. So it's kind of useful. It's a shame these bars are that big, because I would have definitely taken that for sure. And that worked down nice. And there was another one here as well. Where was it? There was a second one. Karina, Ninja Trader have ATR indicator. I use that in points. Okay, so there will be an indicator that will give you the ATR somewhere. So it is useful to know what it is, because obviously, you know, just purely for your risk, you want to know what your average bar size is. But what I will say is I always have that. I always have this there, so that instant gives me a read in exactly what that bar is. That number there tells me that bar's 13 ticks. So as soon as if I'm looking to take a trade, I know exactly what the current bar is. You know, I do wonder whether we're going to get some more downward stuff today. We kind of got this with a break and a new low, couple of attempts to go higher. I feel we could make some more downward movement there, maybe some strong stuff. So just out of curiosity, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Leg down, couple of attempts to go higher and another leg down. We've still got more we can go, really. What indicator is that, Lance? You're on about the stop trading. I'm pretty sure, mate, that comes with Guardian Angel Trader. It's just like a panic button. I haven't hit it yet, but I don't know whether it says, are you sure you want to do this? I don't really want to risk not being able to trade, but I do like the fact that it's there. So, you know, if you get that little voice in your head that says, I shouldn't really be doing this. Oh, the size of the bar. Sorry, mate, I'm not having a good day today. I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's also free. But I'll tell you something, you'll never guess what it's called. It's called bar size counter. You'd have never guessed that, would you? Okay, that's where it's from. That's the website there, ticktech.com, TICKTEC.com. And it's called bar size counter, and it's free. But it's really useful because it instantly is like I know exactly what size that bar is. So it's really useful. So we've got a leg and a leg. Let's see where we go from here. I really like having it there. You can move it a little bit and that's... but it is useful. Obviously, this bar is going to be your signal bar, the current bar, so it's just nice to know, and that just tells me in ticks what it is. I prefer to work in ticks. One more time. Where download it from? I'll show you about it. It's called ticktech.com. I'll leave it there for a second. Bar size counter. It's there, but tick, T-I-C-K as in tick, and then TEC.com. I'll leave it there for a second for you. But it is useful. There you go. If you need it again, just shout me. Okay, so there is possibly a second entry short there. Trouble is, we've just come from here. Pretty much looks like it's ranging at the moment, and I have a feeling that that is more like that, with a break and a new low. So when we came down here, we pushed up. So let's see if we can trap some shorts. We've come down to the same area. In fact, we went a little bit higher there than there, and we've come a little bit lower than there. So How am I? I'm doing okay, mate. Thanks for asking. I'm fine, yeah. Everything's going well. I'm in a good place. I'd say I'm over the, what's the word to use? I'm over the hump. Is that right? No. I've actually 3/4 of the way. No, I'll shut up. I'm okay, mate. I'm doing all right. I'm aiming in the right direction. Let's put it like that. Okay, I'm wondering if there is a larger channel here. I did have a feeling it was going to come down some. Rodian, how you doing, buddy? How you going? How you say it? How you going, mate? How you going? Okay, possible second entry short. Very tempting. Very tempting, but this could be bottoming. So I have to avoid it. It's tempting, but I can't take it because of this. We've bounced in the same sort of area. Ordinarily, it wouldn't maybe be a terrible trade, and it may work, but I feel like it's going to be a trap. Yeah. So I wouldn't want to go long here because there's a leg and a leg. Also, not that I expect it to go short, but I just can't do that. So there is. I think once we get so far up, we're okay. I think we probably are now. Let me have a look. Yeah, I think we're okay now. So this channel down here, I like it. We had a break and it didn't make a new low because we bounced off there. Nice channel down there. I like it. We had a break, but I don't think we'll make a new low. Same as there. It's just reversing to me unless there is something larger. I'm surprised that's doing that, although I do think it'll turn. I'll be surprised if it comes down and breaks this low. Unless there is something larger there. Keep those PAs alive, yeah. I did blow 10 of them. But I'm kind of okay at it because it's actually not going to make me any worse off money-wise because I only traded 10 at a time before, so it's kind of counterproductive having 20 if you're only trading 10. Okay, one attempt to go, so we've got a channel down. One attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. Possible second entry long. I'm just staying out of this because there may be something larger, in which case it could come down. I did say, you know, there's certainly scope for it to come down today. So there is a possibility this thing could come down some more. But it could also trap shorts and push up. We've had a sort of a double bottom here, if you like. I'm just going to remove that just a second. If this thing breaks this level, then I think this is going to come down further. Yeah, it looks like it might. So leg, 2 attempts to go higher, and another leg. So I think now this is likely to come further down. Just based on what I'm seeing at the moment. So So I'm thinking now, leg down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, and it failed and come down. So I wonder whether there is something larger that might show itself at some point. Maybe something like that. But I think this is going to come down. We know we got scope to come down more. In Alpine losers accounts. I had a feeling. I did have a look yesterday, but I had a feeling. I remember because he does some DJing, didn't he? And I think he said he had a gig on or a show on or something. So that seems to stick in my mind. But he did lose a bunch of them. I think he was down 50 grand in 2 days. I saw the one day where he was down 36 grand. I feel a little bit frustrated for him because he did that open range breakout, which he was really bloody good at. And he made a lot of money off it. And then Apex stopped it, which I kind of get why they did it, because he traded without a stop, but he was so good at it. You wouldn't think you could be that good at a strategy that doesn't use a stop, but he seemed to make a ton of money out of it. See, I'd have been inclined to take everything I made and trade my own. If he was that good at it, what did he make? Over 200? He's made $300,000. Why not take 200,000 of it and trade your own account with the open range breakout? He was that good at it. So it is frustrating that Apex have done that, but I get why they did it. I don't know whether he'd be better off just keeping his mouth shut and not telling people. Well, he did trade before the stream, didn't he? But I think people eventually worked out what he was doing, and I think he kind of slipped a little bit, and I think that's probably was the downfall, which is a shame, really, because he was really good at it. I thought this guy's going to make an absolute fortune, and then they sort of stopped him doing it. But I believe you can trade it on other prop firms, and I think he does use some other prop firms, but I don't think he makes the same money as Apex. Okay, so we know we've got scope to go down, that's for certain. And that is a leg, and we've gone sideways. For me, there's one attempt to push higher, and then a second attempt to push higher. As we know, market moves in twos. It's tried to do something twice, and now it's failed. So I think this leg, a leg and a leg down. I don't know what is further back here. I don't go back that far. But I looked on the daily earlier, and it definitely can go down. So 2 clear attempts to go higher. Where's me red? Okay, we had a break, but no setup really. Nothing you can do there. Same here, way too far for that EMA. I mean, it is bearish, but I don't think there's a bearish scenario that I'd take a trade that far from the EMA because you're asking to get shafted. Let's see if there is another leg. Where's that get us close? So if you like that channel, in fact, Thomas Wade's opened that up to there. Pine took several rounds trade when he blew up his accounts. Yeah. Yeah, he did. Yeah. I don't know what to think about him. Don't get me wrong. I see him take a lot of losses and he blows a lot of accounts, but he still makes a lot of money. I kind of feel bad for him because he was so good at a strategy. And ever since, I don't think I've ever seen a trader have that many green days in a row. He just never had a red day. He absolutely killed it. He nailed that strategy. Now, whether you can ever call a strategy if you don't have a stop and you use the drawdown as your stop, because that's like saying you either win the trade or you blow the account. But when you're trading a prop firm's account, you've got $2,500 of drawdown to play with, like you've got $2,500 cash or 2,600 cash, whatever it is. But you're only really risking $140 in the lifetime fee or $85 if you want to look at it like that. So we're not actually risking as much as you would if it were your own money. So I kind of get it's a strategy that works for a prop firm, but not as a normal day-to-day trading strategy. And I think that's why Apex sort of put the foot down, because they're saying, well, okay, if we're paying him a lot of money, so we've got to copy him. We can't all of a sudden not put a stop and just let it run till it blows up. So I get why they did it, but he may have got away with it longer if he'd have kind of he kept saying, I'm worried that Apex put a stop to it. But if that was the case, why did you keep streaming? I don't understand why he keeps streaming. If he was worried that he was going to get shut down, I'd have stopped streaming. Because he was making that much money. If he'd have carried on making that much money for another six months, he could have got $1 million behind him. He wouldn't have had to worry then. He removed his stop loss last day. I think that's what kills accounts. Yeah, the thing is, I'm pretty sure Apex say you have to have a stop. So, but I know some professional traders trade without a stop. It's all I've ever known. You know, when I first learned to trade, I was told always have a stop loss. Now, don't get me wrong. If you've been trading for 20 years and you're a skilled trader and you don't use a stop loss, I'm not going to tell you you're doing it wrong, because you're not. So there are certain scenarios and certain trades and traders maybe why they don't. You know, I am aware that some people don't use a stop loss. But if you know what you're doing and that, then, you know, I suppose if it works, it doesn't really matter what you do. So I think we're going to bounce here, and I'll tell you why. Well, I don't think. I'm just going to bring this on. So that's where we are now, right at this level here. That, because of that overshoot, that is a steep correction. And we're around about this level now, so we could go down a bit more and then bounce. So that is a possibility. Who is this Alpine? His name's Alpine Trader. But what I will say is, don't copy his trades. He seems to have his own way of doing things, but I watched him take 5 longs in a row in a strong downtrending market, and he lost every one of them. But I don't kind of understand how he still seems to make money. He seems to either do really well or do really bad. But he's a streamer. He streams live. He trades the NASDAQ on a 2-minute chart. But I don't understand his setups. Don't make much sense to me. I've always been taught from Mac, never trend against the market, or never trade against the trend. Definitely not just interesting. Yeah, definitely. His name's Alpine Trader. I believe he'll be streaming today. But yeah, I think it was it day before yesterday, he was down $36,000. And the day before, I think 14 or 16. Let's have a little look at this. Now, I would say there's a channel with a break and a new low. So, just looking on that daily, we are at the bottom of that chart, so this thing could potentially bounce. Now, I was aiming for this second leg. Now, it's 24 points away. Now, 24 points sounds like a lot, but on a daily chart, it's only a small move, really, so it could still come down further. So there's a steep channel there with a break and a new low, so that's played out. We've got a channel there with a break and a new low, so that's played out. So I'm holding off on shorts just at the moment, because if this is a bigger channel, we could get up here. Having said that, they're going to leg up. Yeah, I'm just not sure what I'm seeing here at the moment. Thomas Wade has just changed his chart to there. And there. No, it doesn't make sense, does it? Does it? No, that has to go there, really, doesn't it? There and there. Normally that first swing, most of the time I'll go with him there, but I'm not really a massive fan of that. In fact, I'm just going to treat it as more of an individual stuff. A leg down with a break, however you see that. It doesn't really matter whether it's there. We've got a break and a new low, channel break, new low, so that's played out. So let me just try that again. He's put that there now, so that is certainly feasible. We got a leg and a leg. And a break and a... Not sure about that yet. Tell you what, let's just get the channel down there. He's obviously much more experienced trader than me, so I haven't got anything better anyway, so let's just go with that for now. So we've got one leg and 2 legs up and a turn there. Now, a lower high would have to be further down here. There is a lower high there actually, but I'm not really sure what's going on here at the moment. Yeah, see, there's another reason to have another chart. So if you look at this, there's no lower high there. There is a lower high here, and Taylor's took that and won the trade. So there you go. There is a lower high there. I didn't take it. I'm a little bit unsure what's going on. Thomas didn't take it because he only trades one chart, and he's got no lower high. So that is another reason why it's useful to have these charts, because there is a lower high there and it worked perfectly. What charts on the left? So the top left is exactly the same as the top right. They're both 2000 tick charts. The only difference is if you go into data settings at the top there, deselect break at end of day and change the days. I've got that one to 3 and that one to 5, and then reload historic data, and there'll be a slight difference. And if you look at all my 3 charts, there's a slight variation in this area, and what effectively does is gives you chances to get a better signal bar, because so many times it comes up here. Now, if that's a valid downtrend, some traders will just put a sell order there. We wait for a signal bar, which kind of gives us extra sort of credibility. But sometimes you just don't get a good signal bar and it carries on anyway. So it just gives you an extra chance of getting a better signal bar. But I wasn't paying attention to this at the time because I was really unsure what I was looking at. So if I'm unsure how this channel's working, I'm not thinking about taking a trade. But we have broke below those lows, so I think that is a good possibility. And from going from there to there on that daily will just be a little break out the channel. So I like to think it's going to come down here and then reverse. The good thing is I can just stay zoomed in on there. And all this is for is the trade. It doesn't matter what the general, feel of the market is. I've got that down here. So all this is just that little bit of a chance of getting a better signal bar. So let's see if this thing closes down here. It's closed enough to consider it, but I'm not taking a short here because there's your failure. There's a new high. So there's no setup here really. Unless we get a second entry short. See, a lot of traders, if they like that chart, they'll put sell order there and it worked. Put a sell order there and it worked. But we wait for a signal bar, so sometimes if the signal bar's enough, we just don't take it and the thing moves down anyway. So by having an extra couple of charts with slight different variation, you've got another chance of having a second crack of the whip. So there may be a channel there with a break. One attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, or the channel may be there and it's already played out 2 pushes down to a new low, in which case I'm not in the market for a short just as yet. This may work, but I'm just staying out of this. Thomas had a 44-point runner yesterday. That's brilliant. That is. It's one of the biggest I've seen personally. Okay. There is kind of a failure there, but it's always nice to trap along in a failure. So I'm just staying out of this. I just don't like what's going on. I'm a bit unsure. I'm not a massive fan of this channel. Let's say one attempt to go higher second. Let's see if we get a triple test. Does Thomas Wade trade up? Yeah, he does, mate. Yeah, he's got, I think he trades 7 or 8 accounts. Sorry, 7 or 8 contracts. I think he has 7 as a 7 as his main 2 points, and I think he goes for a 1 point run. It's either that or 6 and 1 or 7 and 1. So good reason not to take that one. Whether it would have worked or not, who knows? That ATR is still high, but I wouldn't have gone for that. And you'd have been lucky to get 6 ticks out of that. Let's see if there's something larger here. Leg up. There may be something larger there. Could just be 2 attempts to go higher. Let's see if this gets to here and turns down. Yeah, see that made about this possible bounce. That's the daily bounce there, and a bit of a pullback. That's interesting, that is. Now we still could break below it and then turn. I'd still like to ascend this, which would be a small break below it on the daily. Two attempts to go up. We haven't got through that EMA yet, so nothing I can do there. There is a lower high, but that's just risky at the moment, I think. Does look like it's coming down, doesn't it? Let's have a look at this. 18 ticks, that's just too rough, that. Straight through the EMA and then pushed up straight through it. So 1, 2, 3 attempts to go higher. Maybe a triple test. The lower high there, it's 12 ticks though. Are we going to get a second entry long? I'm not sure if there's a channel up there. I just don't want to get caught out just in case there is. Oof, that's very tempting there. Trouble is there may be something moving up here. If we forget this bigger channel, that's played out and that's played out and that's played out. This thing, yeah, I'm going to say this thing looks like it's about to drop. There is liquidity there. Yeah, it's going to take out that, isn't it, I think. There was a failure there, but it's so bloody big. So I'm going to remove that for now. It's going to take that for sure. So 2 attempts to go higher, lower high. Yeah, Taylor's had that channel as well. So I'm going to get rid of the bigger one at the minute. This to me now just looks like a range. So that would have worked. Trouble is this ATR is still so high. Yeah, Thomas Wade's just put that small channel, same as me, so I like that. So channel down, 1 attempt to go higher, 2nd attempt to go higher, failure. I think now this will continue down by the looks of things. It's like a sort of reverse bull flag, isn't it? Or a bear flag, really. Channel down, 2 attempts to go higher, and down we go. I'd like to see a break here. Amazon down 12%. That's a fair chunk in a day, isn't it? I saw Mac's website. Vlad posted some of his payouts in screenshot form. Did he really? Interesting. How much did he get, mate? You know. I'm not a member at the moment. I have had 2 years split over 3 years. Between 500 and 2,000 on 10 accounts. You mean per account, yeah? Yeah, this thing is going lower, I think. Yeah, nice. 10 payouts, last pay period. Nice. So between nice, good. Hopefully next month I may be drawing the same. Well, I'd like to plan is to get these accounts to 3,000, take 1,000 out of each. And then whatever I can make per month. The thing is, to make $1,000, you've only really got to get $250 per account. You can get 2 trades a week. That'll put you up to $1,600 per month. If you take 1,000 out and leave the other 6 in there to grow, another 10 months, you'd have $9,000 in there. So you don't need a lot to build the accounts. Okay, big channel down, break. One attempt to go lower, second attempt to go lower. So this thing could go up, or channel with a break, new low. One attempt to go, second attempt to go high, it could go lower. So if we can push out, retest this and come down, then I'd say my target then is down here. But that channel has a break and a new low. So let's see where this goes. If it pushes strong up through that EMA, I fancy it going higher, and this being a bottom. Maybe a second leg down. Break. 1, 2 pushes down. I'd like to get below this again. I always like to, when we have a break, to have 2 pushes down. Or at least maybe trap that bear bar there. Okay, so break, leg and leg, 2 pushes down to a new low. So that is definitely played out. Now let's see where it goes now. I still think we're going to get down here. Yeah, look. There must be something larger by now. Maybe. So my thoughts are this is going to continue down. That's interesting. There's a little bullish bar there, although it's red. I'll be surprised if that doesn't get taken out, that stop. You could say 1, 2, 3, little triple test there. I think this is likely to come down, take out that. I'm not taking it because, well, it's just where it is. But I like the way it's bouncing on that underside, which is telling me it's more likely to come and take that out. But it is congested, so I'm staying out of this. My thoughts are it's going to, but I wouldn't bet on it. But I'd say that's easy pickings, that is. Yeah, I think there's a larger channel there. So that's got taken. I thought it might do so. May not have been a terrible trade there, but it was just too big. And I just don't take these just out of principle because they get a bit choppy. I always have an idea where they're going to go. So I'd like to come up here and retest this. Whether it will or not is a different matter. So I think it's very likely now we continue on down. How much further, who knows? See, you could say there is a break there and a new low. Actually, that probably looks a little better. Channel down, break, new low. So let's see where this goes. Maybe coming back up. I don't think it'll go far. So I think that was initially more or less where Thomas had that channel. Let's see what happens here. There is a lower high there. Trouble is, we've got a leg up with a break. I'm not risking that much. Channel down with 2 attempts to push up. So may even look for a failure here. Channel down, 2 attempts. Whether we had a break here, it's irrelevant, I think. If we can get a bullish bar and trigger. But if we can get a failure, I do think this thing's coming down more. It works there, doesn't it? That's interesting. Maybe not. No, it's just hard to read today. This is after this strong push down and a couple of attempts higher. I'll be surprised if this gets up here. I will, because this to me is a channel down. We've clearly had one attempt to push higher and a second attempt. So I'll be surprised if that does. Excuse me. There is a possible second entry long. I'm staying out of this. I just don't have a think this is going to reach the top. This is so... After those pushes up, I think it's going to attempt to, but... could be wrong. But I just have to go with my gut feeling. There's no real setup there. I'm not taking that thing. It's massive. It's 18 ticks, 19, 20 ticks. I'm not risking $5,000 on that trade. Not a chance. Yeah, I'm finding it hard to read today. I really am. When there's big bars, I scale down to one contract. Yeah. Yeah, that's certainly a possibility, yeah. I did consider that, but to be fair, if I find a really solid trade, I think my win rate's about 89% at the moment, so I'd rather try and just make as much as I can out of it. But I am going to be more particular, but yeah, I get what you mean. Usually with a little bit of time, but there is a lot of movement today. There's a lot of... It's been like that for a while. I mean, that is a lot of volume, really. Considering, the market's only been open an hour and 20 minutes officially. Same yesterday. There was a lot of volume yesterday. Something's going on in the markets at the moment. Something's going on. I'm not exactly sure why. I know there was the sort of concern about rate cuts, but Amazon's down 12% in a day. That's a fair chunk, that is. What's crypto doing at the moment? Not really a lot. In fact, maybe coming down a bit more. I kind of hope it does. I sold all my crypto off. I did a couple of days ago. It's dropped the best part of 8% since, so I'll just wait for it to drop 15 or 18% and then buy it back. So I end up getting, I pay the same, but I get more of them. So things are coming down nice. I didn't think that Powell talking the other day was a massive concern, but people sort of didn't like it. Saljit, how you doing? I have a question. How do you join Thomas Way's Discord channel? If you go on to, I'll show you. Easiest way. If you go on to his YouTube channel, there's a link to it. I'll find it for you. There. Yeah, okay. So if you go on to his he's got a link there, and so look, I think the prices are down here for some reason. Yeah, it wouldn't let me. In fact, it's gone up a bit. It wouldn't let me join the monthly. I had to pay the quarterly. I paid $105. It's gone up a little bit. But in all fairness, it still works out, what, $35 a month? It's worth its weight in gold, in my opinion. I genuinely mean that. He's constantly putting it off 52. So 1 minute ago, he put it 52. It's 53 now. 1 minute ago, he put that on. 2 minutes before that, he put that on. What's that? 15 minutes he put that. I mean, that's quite a wait, to be fair. But other traders put their charts on. He's put it on again. He's constantly putting his charts on, and other traders are as well. So it does, for me, it's what's the word? It says monthly, isn't it? Yeah, monthly's not. I don't know why, but to be honest with you, it really is worth it. It works out at $30 a month, $35 a month, say. It's really worth it. There is a failure there, but trouble is, it's going to trap some longs there, but it comes down a bit. It isn't working. I got mixed feelings about this thing, what's going on, but I think that was a failed breakout. You're welcome at any time. It's definitely worth it, yeah, definitely. There's some really good traders in there. Marco's in there, he chats, and Taylor from Top Pick Trading as well. So there's some good experienced traders in there. One of my biggest things is confidence in my channels. Although I think a couple of people have said in the past it might be my sort of stronger point, but I don't think my charting's that bad, but for some reason I just lack a bit of confidence. So I'd say 9.5 times out of 10, if I put my chart a certain way, Thomas Wade will do that. So it just helps my confidence, because there's such a lot of failure in trading. It can affect your confidence, but with time, my confidence is growing, but it still has a little bit to go yet. So it just helps me out. So that failure did work. To be honest with you, if this is a channel, it's too far to the bottom of that channel, too close to the bottom of the channel for me, because it could come back up and break above there a little bit. Sometimes, if it's not a strong enough position, it can get eked out. There is a bit of space up here, so that could have triggered and pushed up. And after this, I thought this was coming down, 2 attempts to push up, but necessarily so. So maybe this is the break and the new. Maybe that's the 2 attempts. But I still think we're likely to get down here. So this channel here, depending on how you had it, came right down here, and we still had a break and a new low. So that played out. Now, a lot of the times with these channels, they just turn. See this thing? It's working up nice there. It had a break and just came down. So why we can't take a setup at 10:25 Eastern time? I took a loss there. It was a nice one. 10:25 Eastern time. $10.25. Round about here. What was it? What was it? What did you take? What setup was it, bud? What did you say? 10.25. So it's around about here. Just 30 minutes ago. Eh? I'm not sure you mean there, mate. You might have to clarify that a little bit. Why we can't take the setup at 10:25 a.m. at 10:25 Eastern time? I took a loss there. It was a nice one just 30 minutes ago. 10:25. You mean, have you got your time wrong right there, bud? Exactly 30 minutes ago. Okay, so you're talking about 3:30 then, yeah? UK time. You took that one there, did you? That short? Second entry short. That's the one you're thinking of, yeah? Yeah, it must be, I think. Nothing else I can see there. Yeah, you can't. I'll tell you why I didn't take that. Because we're clearly ranging at the moment. So we've had a breakout of this range and it's pushing back in really strongly. So I'd expect it to push back in, test this, and then push up. So you just got caught in a trap there. So we got a channel down there, 2 attempts to go higher. Granted, in some cases that can be okay to take. But one, it's closed above the EMA. EMA's flat. It's just too risky. As we've had a breakout this channel and clearly strongly pushed back in. Below the EMA, second entry short. You're on about one here, somewhere here. I can't find a second entry short. Where am I moving? Left or right? Your time, 15:23. 23. So around about here, yeah. You took a short second. You took that one there, yeah? Okay. It'll have been that one there, I dare say, second. Yeah, it's a second. Well, it's not technically a second short because you've got a new low here. It's actually a third entry, or it's a failure. But another reason not to go short there, it looks to me like we're going sideways. So you're going short when we've just come off the bottom. So it's just too risky. Not only that, there's a little bit of a range in. You're going short 2/3 of the way down from the top. So it's risky, that is. It may work. Chances are it's not going to. The bar's literally right in the centre. So it's just, you'll get used to knowing those, just when to stay out. But this is going sideways. So if it's ever ranging like that, you only really want to be shorting from the top. Not there. We're nearly, even if the short works, you've got hardly any distance to the bottom, so you don't want to be doing that really. So yeah, don't worry about those. That's how you learn. It's best way to do, as Max says, best thing to do is take everything that you believe to be a setup, and you'll start to realise. But the context is wrong there. That's the issue. I mean, we got a new high there, so you could say it's a failure. But the context is wrong. It's right around the middle. You don't want to be trading around the middle of a range like that. You're going to get chopped up. Sometimes you might get lucky, but that's how you learn, bud. That's how you learn. Don't ever worry about losing a trade. It's how you learn, and you really do learn. Max says he avoids shorts into the middle. Yeah. Especially that small, really. I mean, what, 6 or 7 points, isn't it? I mean, even if that thing worked, you want to tick below it. You're 0.75 to the bottom. You don't want to be doing that. If you're going to take a short there, if the context was right, this is where your order would be, a break above it and down here. At least then, by the time that works, you're already out, come past the midline. So you'll get used to knowing. What you'll find is when you've taken trades in that scenario, you'll build up. You'll almost get like a little library of mental images in your brain. And when you come to something like this again, something in your head will go, there's a red flag here. I've been caught out here before. And that's how it works. And I get that all the time. A lot of the times now, I can just look at a trade and go, I either like it or I don't. But sometimes I'll get that, ooh, I don't like this. There's something about this I don't like. And when you get that feeling, that's experience. And listen to that feeling. If something's telling you to avoid a trade, trust me, avoid it. Just because even an absolute crap trade can still work. But when you get that feeling, that will come from experience. Avoid it like the plague. When you reach the payout right on the last day of the payout window, I wouldn't be updated on Apex website. Market closes. Okay, excuse me a sec. Okay, so if it's the last day today, I think this is what you mean. If it's the last day today and you haven't hit your target until we clock through till tomorrow, it won't register. So you need to complete your day today and then apply for a payment tomorrow. So I think that's what you mean. On the last day of applying, it ain't going to work, I don't think. It ain't going to work unless you have already done the 10 days or hit the target and then gone to the following day where you can do that. Someone's taking a short there. I don't think, well, I think I've got the points here, but I'm just not sure about this because we've kind of had a little bounce there. It's probably going to come down. I still think it will, but it's just a bit risky there. Yeah, see that bar there is a 4.75 risk. If you want to get it on a limit order, really, it's probably going to work. Trouble is, when we've had a break from this, we've had a break and a new low there. It's technically already played out that and see, so we could have a couple of legs up, may trap some longs and come up and have a leg with a pullback and up to test this. So that I wouldn't have taken a short there personally. Well, you would have got your points. So if you'd have gone for 2 points, you wouldn't be out there. You'd have to wait. You got to push through for 2 points, so you would have eventually got it there. I'm not a fan of this at the moment, though. It looks like it's working down, but it always also looks a little bit congested. I wonder if there's a spike in the channel. Yeah, there may be. When you reach the payout amount on the last day of the payout window, have I just read that or not? Haven't I? Yeah, rhythmic issues. Okay, excuse me just for a quick second. Okay. $100 away from a payout. Good on you, mate. But I'm also too close to the 30% rule. I can't make any more profit. Yeah, I really try not to think about the money, mate. Just take your time, get it right rather than get it quick. Monday is the best day, or is the last day of the window to request? Let's have a look. It's the 5th. Yeah, I know what you mean. The trouble is, mate, if you look at it like that, you may force a trade. If you're taking a trade with the intentions of trying to get to the payment, I've experienced that before, and I've lost a trade. I've lost it. So I would think I'd think about that one if I was you. And the last thing you want to do is make a mistake now and have a shit weekend and a blowing an account. I don't think I'll be able to request. Yeah, I'd forget it, mate. The good thing is now, if you wait now till the 15th, you've now got nearly 2 weeks to take your time and get it right. And in fact, build even more of a cushion. Yeah. I've found if you think about the money, it puts pressure on there. Having a financial pressure. Someone told me never trade to get money. Always just get the trade right. There's a possible triple test here. But it's such a big bloody bar, so I'm just going to have to stare at that. Yeah, it is, mate. If you start thinking about money, I've done it myself before and end up having get myself into trouble, and then you just kick yourself then. And after a while, you figure, just trade nice and sensibly, and when you get to the right amount, then at the next payout window, take your money. Yeah, I'm glad I left that one. That's almost definitely going to get stopped out. It's bound to. You could say 1, 2, 3 triple test, but that to me is just, yeah, it's stopped out by a tick. It's clearly congested. And it's a little bit uncertain what's going on here. I've got the theory that it's coming down some more, but we came down quite a bit below there. In fact, I'll even be inclined to take that down a bit further. So we've had a small breakout there and a small breakout there. So maybe this isn't coming down just yet. Yeah, there's nothing worse than, I'll tell you, I think I said this a couple of days ago. I needed, what did I need? I needed $100. No, just under $100 to hit a payment. And I had a day like that as well. So I reduced down to one contract, and it bounced off my profit about 3 or 4 times before coming back and taking me out for about 2-point loss. And then after the stream, I revenge traded and lost it all. There's nothing worse than having it bouncing off your profit target to get to a payout, and I lost that payout. So take my word for it. Do it the right way. Don't think about the time scale. Think about the trades. You know, when I first learned to trade, a very experienced trader who traded for Swiss Bank and a few others said to me, don't think about the money, get the trading right and the money will follow. I guarantee it. If you start trading with money in mind, I need to earn this, I need to earn that, that's when you'll start to have those emotions will overtake you and you'll cock up. I know it's nice to get money and all this, you know, money makes the world go round. We've got to earn it, haven't we? But do it the right way, mate. You'll get a lot of pleasure out of that as well. Using the trade copy as well. So for me, it's, yeah. Which trade copy are you using, bud? Which one are you using? To be honest with you, I've used now for about the last year or so, maybe a little bit more, Replicanto. I've never had an issue with it. Yeah, it's a brilliant bit of software. And let's face it, trading's stressful enough as it is, so you want to have equipment that works. So I'm just going to ditch that in a minute because it's maybe something like that. It's a bit early yet. But if we do get something like that, that may get us down to there. Yeah, it will. So that's a possibility. If it breaks below there and closes, this thing's coming down some more. Delta pressure having 2 accounts. Yeah, it does, yeah. Yeah, see, I was trading with 10 accounts and I felt the difference. The most I traded before was with 5, and I did feel the difference. And what I found is I was coming out of the trades early. And the silly thing is, if you're risking 3 points for a 2-point profit, that's fine. But if you're coming out at only half of that, it's counterproductive because you're still risking the same amount. So you kind of have to just leave it. And what I actually went over to a contract, and what I found is I was taking way more trades and way more losses. So that was a useful. I'm glad it happened because it taught me that 2 contracts just keeps enough pressure on you to wait for good setups. And if you do sit and wait for good setups, like that setup we had yesterday, there was a second entry long and a high low. The trades like that just do not fail. I don't think I've ever seen a trade like that fail without, you know, someone reminding me we've already had a break or something like that. It was such a beautiful channel. It was a second entry long, strong push up. It was a beautiful setups. If you wait for setups like that, you'll win 95% of the time. You really will. But I think, yeah, it's every time you take an extra step up that ladder, you know, it gets that little bit more pressure, doesn't it? You've got to get used to. You know, I mean, if you know those, do you ever those little 4-inch beams or 5-inch beams that these, you know, these gymnasts sort of practice on? If you were walking across one of those, you know, a couple of foot off the ground, you'd breeze it, wouldn't you? But if you put that 50 foot above the ground, the chances are you'd fall. So every time you go up to that next level, that next height, there's just that extra little pressure there, and you need to get used to it before you move high. You can't just go up to earning $20,000. It doesn't work. You know, your brain can't deal with it. It's hard to read today. It's clearly sort of ranging, but it is giving us that impression it's trying to push down. But there, it just came back. But I think this is where it's going to turn. I think it will come down. We pushed up strongly and then reversed. But there's a little bounce there. can take that up a fraction to there. So we got touch there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's as good as the bottom. Small break out the top. We often get one out the bottom. And that pushed in really strongly, but we hit a level and come down. So possibly looking for a triple test here. Makes me nervous going short into this though. Especially after bouncing there. Yeah, if we get a second entry short, I'm just going to have to leave this. Because if this comes down, it's no good. That really. There's definitely more liquidity going through the markets today. The price is really moving quick. That ATR hasn't really calmed down, has it? I actually changed the P&L to show points instead of dollars. Yeah, there's definitely some sensibility there for sure. Yeah. Think about the points rather than money. Yeah, if you have dollars flashing between you, I tend to not pay attention too much anyway. But it is something I have done in the past, and I think it's a sensible idea. Try and look upon it as points, not money. See, I think what Ninja Trader should do was have a service that you can subscribe to, that when you lose a trade as a new trader, it automatically connects you to a therapist. That'd be a good idea. Or the Samaritans or someone you can talk to. Someone who gives you a pep talk. Okay, so we got a leg down, a couple of attempts to go higher. Let's see if that long gets trapped. See, the bigger picture is telling me pushed up, come back and bounced a couple of times up here. So where's liquidity here? Some above here, some above here. We've bounced twice in this. So price really could go up. I've just put that there. So if you took that, that's 13 ticks. I just think, to me, it's just a bit too early. Especially after we've come from below the range in and bounced twice off it. It's a bit too early to go short just yet, I think, until we get back below this lot. It did work, but I just wasn't feeling it. That lower high simultaneous on the second entry. Yeah, there was a lower high on the 10,000 tick chart apparently. Trouble is, when we bounce twice like that, you don't know whether we're going to try a third time, and then up we go. Yeah, I mean, you're definitely going to trap longs here. There's a higher low there. But the trouble is the bar closed already below it. I have been trading with Apex for 19 months and still no payout yet. I can't remember when I had my first payout. It depends. See, it depends. Did you have any experience trading before those 19 months? Because I know what a lot of people do, and I did it myself. You do about a month or two on a sim, and then you start to jump onto, and you're not ready for it. So that might be why things take so long. You know, I mean, when you move on to trading with any type of money or any skin in the game, for want of a better word, there is a different level, a different level of emotion, which you've got to get used to. There's no real emotions on a sim, so you know, you're saying 19 months. Well, it tells me that you've stuck it out for 19 months, so that's positive. But it just depends. I mean, if you've only been trading a couple of months before that, I probably wouldn't be too concerned, because it does take time. When did I get my first payout? Not long after I started streaming, actually, which was January before last. So let's say a year and a half ago. And I've been trading for over 3.5 years. So it took me over 2 years for me to earn a payout of any kind. So, and that was from a complete beginner. I lost money. I tried trading my own account and lost money, so I'd definitely 100% avoid that. Trading's a lot harder than people think, and they get into it and wonder why they're still struggling. But it does take time. If you continue to do it, and I would expect by 2 to 3 years you'll start to see something. But it does take time. It's like doing walking from one end of the country to the next. You can't do it overnight. It takes time. But it's hard to explain it to people, really. It does seem easy, but what I will say is if you stick at it, you'll do okay at it, and we all know how much money you can earn at it. So it's definitely worth sticking at. I'm getting rid of that. So if I take this down a bit, can I do that? Yes, I can. Tough day today. It's hard to read. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, folks. How long I've been going for? Coming up 2 hours. I'm just going to take a 5-minute break. Go make myself a cup of coffee, stretch my legs. And I will be back in about 3 to 5 minutes. Leg. I don't know whether there's something bigger there or not. Touch. I don't know. I kind of like the bottom, but I think it's irrelevant really at the moment. So let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, triple test. Nothing I can do here at the moment. Yeah, it's a tough day today. That ATR's still high. Might be a dry day today. Much better to be 0 than red, put it that way. Okay, there'll be a bit of liquidity there, so maybe that might just take that out. After this down, there's going to be traders short in there thinking that this thing's coming down. Let's see if it holds. Okay, right up level with that other one. Going to break above it, yes. A little bit more. Okay, so I'm guessing there was some stops there a little bit higher. Once it went, we had that little pop there. So we tend to put ours a tick below there. Some will put a point or so. Once it got so far up, we had that little flick off it. I did that a bit earlier. Now we're coming up here. I'd rather just put it back. I noticed Taylor's just put it there. I put it up and got rid of it, but as we're approaching this area, it's important to keep it in mind, I think. Wow, big bearish bar off the top. That's interesting. Just a massive bar. What was it, 18 and 19 ticks? Just nothing I can do, unfortunately. We are rejecting off here, so I think there's a good chance it will. Whether it'll take that out first or not, I don't know. There is a lower high there with 10 ticks, but I've got no idea what's going on here, really. You don't know whether it's going to take out these highs and get to the top of this trend channel, if it is a trend channel. Could be a second entry long, which may push a bit higher. I don't know. I mean, this could be kind of bottoming, really, couldn't it? It could go higher, but it's not, interesting the way it has just turned there, so nothing we can do here at the moment, really. I think a second entry long would just be risky for me. We tried multiple times to get lower, didn't we? Okay, so that's eating up that liquidity there. So we're up now to this possible channel. So let's see whether it holds here. Let's have a look. So we've got a touch, a touch, a touch, a touch, a touch, and a touch there. I actually don't mind that. It looks all right to me now, but see if it reacts off this line. Yeah, you can't argue with that, can you? There's no bar there you could have taken anyway, really. So if we're thinking about this channel, we've had a break of it. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we trap some longs. So we've had a break of the channel and we're pushing up. Now that is interesting. Let's see if it does push above there. No setup there. There's nothing to go along anyway. Oh, it has by a tick. So technically it's played out. Can adjust it ever so slightly. The slightest adjustment down here does nothing on there. So I'm going to ditch that for the minute. Yeah, this could be bottoming. I still think it'll go down some more. I certainly think it can. But it is getting rather high now, isn't it? I wonder if this thing is going up now. Interesting, there is a second entry long there. I'm just unsure about this at the moment, really. I've widened that channel, so there may be a break and a new high, so I'm just sitting tight at the moment. There is a higher low there, but it's a little bit congested there. That EMA's flat. So I'm just staying out of there. It hasn't triggered yet anyway. I'm just staying out of this. Be a second entry short there, trapping some longs. No, it's going up. I just couldn't take it in all fairness. I've just adjusted that chart and I'm just not massively wrapped about it. Yeah, so Thomas Wade has got his chart. Strange, how's he reached that? Oh, right, okay, he's got it down here. And there, with an overshoot. He's actually cut that bit off. Doesn't make sense, that. Let's put it back there. I don't know. That looks okay to me. We're touching. We're touching. Channel down with a break. This could come down. I'll tell you something now. There'll be longs there, and longs there. This thing could flush down. If there is an overshoot, then. Okay, so that got eaten up. That stop's going to go. And quite possibly that one as well. May hold that. Have a look. Taylor's in a long trade. Where's his profit above here? He may be out of there now. There's nothing here. I don't like this one. EMA's flat. It's below the EMA, and this one isn't any better either. Really worked. Thomas Wade, I am considering high-low above the EMA. There is a higher low there, but it's just too far from the EMA for me. Want that to break below there, really. One, two, three, maybe a triple test. Can I move that up anything? One, two, three, that could be a triple test there. Let's sit there for now. One, two, three. It is a triple test. Trouble is, it's a 17 tick bar. Taylor's in again. Triple test. I just don't like 17 ticks. Trouble is, it crossed over, came back and pushed up. We've got that bar there, but that's just too far for that EMA. So I'm interested in a trade. Bars tip me, yeah. Sometimes they just work, but it's one of those things. Some people will just take them whatever they are if they believe it's a good trade. I'd rather just be a little bit more sensible. It's just too big, that is, for me. 17 ticks, tick above, tick below, 18, 19 ticks. Trouble is, we've got a leg down. We could have 2 attempts to go higher, and it could come down. It could trap you. So it's just a bit too risky for me. 17, 18, 19 ticks. I'm risking $5,000 on my accounts. It's just too much. I mean, I can reduce it to 1 contract, sure, but... woof, straight up. And that traps and shorts, boom, straight through there. So, at that short. It's just one of those things, isn't it? The bar would have been less risk. I'd have taken it. No, he didn't. No, I just asked Thomas if he took it. No, he didn't. I don't think it's a bad trade. It's just a big signal bar, and it didn't give you anything. Taylor took it, but he's got a better signal bar than me. So nothing there. That's not brilliant. That one, all right, it just wasn't quite bullish enough. And we have a leg down, 2 attempts to go higher. It could trap you, come to the main push down. But yeah, you got to make a decision, and the decision for me, it wasn't brilliant. I like the context. I just prefer to have a slightly better bar and maybe a slightly less of a risk bar. Try and play it out, so I have to wait again. I know. It does take a lot of trades, yeah. Mind you, having said that, if you don't mind taking the losses and you can play the numbers, you probably take them all day long, you know. And we're all at different levels of risks. Some people, if they're okay with getting stopped out, they'll play the numbers. He makes money, and he by far wins a lot more, and he takes a lot more trades than I do. So chances are I'll be making more money than me. But it just depends on your psychology, whether you don't mind taking the extra losses and you just play the game purely for the numbers. So, is this thing going to continue on up now, or is this just a quick spurt? And but I'm happy I've got the patience to be able to say, too big, I'm leaving it. A while back I'd have seen it and just dived straight in on the buy, and it had probably got an extra ticks further up as well because it did move up quite quick. And if you got out there just at the top, look at that, or a tick above there, you can guarantee when you get above there, you're going to have a little pop, possible 7 points. See, that's the type of trade that later on down the line, if the risk wasn't too big, because of what it looks like, nice triple test, I'd have probably put my profit there and just let it ride. You make 3.5 times the amount of profit there in one trade. There is a second entry long there, which I'd expect to get triggered and stopped out. Let's see if it works. I'm certainly not thinking about going long at the moment. Is this thing just continuing on up? Trouble is, 2 legs back, there is a possibility if he finds some sort of support here, this thing may keep going up. certainly very possible. So break. 2 pushes up to a new high. Try to go once, try to go twice. What is going on? Oh. Oh, Is the 10k chart. So we've had a break. 1, 2 pushes up to a new low. Let's have a look. So leg and a leg down, a little bit of sideways, 1 leg up with a break, 2 pushes to a new low. Sorry, two pushes to a new high. Interesting. This thing looks like it's ready to drop. So we've had a break. 1, 2 pushes up on the 10,000 tick chart. So this thing now could come down. It's going to take all them bits of liquidity out there, I think. And then are we then going to come down? Okay, so it's broken that by a tick. So we've had a break of it. 1, 2 pushes up to a new high on the 10,000 tick chart. So I think this is now reversing. Let's just... No. It's too early, really. There is a second entry short there, but it's just congested too far for the EMA, so I'm not getting involved. I do think this is going to come down now. But it's just, I can't take nothing in it. It's too far for that EMA. Mm. Could be bouncing off that. Hmm. Tough day today. That ATR, I don't think it's come down below 3 all day, is it? Do you think you are trading too many accounts for high? Or ATR, it's finding it difficult to pull a trigger. Well, yeah, I mean, when you say finding it difficult to pull the trigger, there has been a couple of trades that I've ummed and ahed with. But, you know, it's just the size of the bars, really. I would have probably had a go on a limit order, but a lot of times when we've had these setups, we haven't really had a limit order. Where was there was a triple test back here. Where was it? I mean, I could reduce down to one contract. I could do, but I was just kind of hoping the ATR was kind of come down. You know, that's how it usually works. You know, sort of sometimes a little pre-market or a little bit of volatility if you're trading 1 to 2 accounts. I've tried trading single accounts and stuff like that, and I trade them a little bit more riskier, I think. So the fact that I'm trading them all together is keeping me disciplined just for those right setups. See, that one there, the triple test, I'd have had a go on a limit order, but to be honest with you, it crossed, came down and pushed up, so it didn't give us it on a limit order. And I don't really want to take a bar that big. If you take it a tick above there, oh, get lost. You take it a tick above it and a tick below it, it's just massive. You're risking about 5 points, 4.5, 4 3/4, 5 points, just too much, to be honest with you. I could reduce, you know, the contracts, but I was kind of hoping it was going to come down. But I mean, I decided sort of 15 minutes ago now I wasn't going to take any trades today anyway, because of it's quite volatile. It's bouncing around a lot, and it can trick you into thinking we're doing things. But it's been a good week. I'm up $5,500 on my accounts this week, so it's been quite a slow week. So if I can be up $5,000 over my 10 accounts on a slow week, I'm kind of okay with that. It's still over $20,000 a month. But yeah, if I trade 1 or 2 one or two accounts. I've done it before. I did it with just the one, and I was taking riskier trades. So it just worked better, you know. We've bounced off here, see, leg up, break new high. Yeah, but I'm quite happy not to. I was just taking too many trades, and I found I think you've got to try these things for sure. Give them a go and experience them, and then I think you'll naturally find your what's it. But I decided about half an hour ago I wasn't going to take any trades. I was kind of just hoping the ETR would come down, but I mean that I think it was a nice trade, but the bar was massive. And the trouble is, as we've been ranging, you just don't know whether we're going to have a leg. You know, you kind of ask yourself the question, don't you? Do I or don't I? So there is a failure there, but the trouble is, once it gets above there, where's it going then? Look at that, 20 ticks. I'm not interested in that. We're already at the top, look. Yeah, I don't want to take a trade like that, even though I think there's a chance it's going to come up here. It's just 20 ticks, tick above, tick below, 22 ticks. I'm not sure why it's so volatile today. Something's going on in the markets, definitely. There's definitely some sort of unease around. Amazon's down 12%. That's quite a chunk in a day. So I don't know whether this is from Powell speaking, but yeah, did he really give us anything negative? Not necessarily. I suppose he put into words that, you know, if things weren't back to where they thought it was suitable before they give a rate cut, they still may not. So the trouble is, sometimes how you put these things can either put people's mind at rest, or they can sort of have doubts, and you know whether. But Bitcoin seemed to take a dump from there. Bitcoin was floating around 70,000. It went down to about 63. So. Maybe this is why it's a bit volatile. I don't really know. But you know, sometimes I don't mind trading. I'm quite happy to sit here. It's good. You know, it's good work on your discipline. The fact that I'm not letting, you know, trades like that, which I think was a nice trade, you know, rule me where I think, well, I love it, let's just jump in. You know, that's something that I would have done, but now I can patiently sit and think, do I or don't I? What's the risk, and weigh it up. But ordinarily I would have taken that one, but just because it's so big, I'm kind of staying out of it. But I'm up nice for the week. The accounts are growing nice. I'd say realistically about 5 more winning trades would get me into that payout level. So I'm just taking my time, taking it nice, and then once you get the accounts up, then you've got a little bit of breathing room. Then once you've got a cushion, you've got to breathe. I mean, if I get my accounts up to 5,000 and I lost the $300 trade, it's no biggie. I'm still over that payment zone. But when you're trying to get up to that payment level, you know, every little knockback takes you that little bit longer. But once you're over it and comfortable, you know, then trades like that, I think a nice setup like that is worth holding on for the top. I really believe that. So if you'd have got in a tick above there, there's 7 points. Now, bearing in mind the bar was big, so even if you say 5 points, it's the equivalent of 2.5 trades. And there was a setup yesterday that I took a short, which just for me, I was pretty confident the thing was just going to come down, and it did. So once you get a little bit of comfort and a nice cushion, you know, then you can start to think, okay, I really like what I'm seeing here. This for me is looks like it's going to push down strong. And if you're only risking a couple of points and you've got a nice big, you know, healthy bank balance, and you can afford to take a couple of 3 losses without any sort of great worries, then I think it's worth holding on. So I plan to change a little bit as I grow, because there is a lot more profit in the markets that we sort of let go by. Now, not all the time, but if you get a really good solid setup, they usually work well and they move. What was the trade yesterday? I can't remember what it was. It was something around here, wasn't it? And where was it? I can't remember what it was now, but it just continued down. Was it that one? Yeah, I think it was that one, but I had it on a different chart. It was a really nice triple test but it looked better. I think it was on a different chart. And when it's such a bearish day and you get a lovely triple test, I mean, look at the possibility there. If you took that trade, look at the possibilities. Even if you can grow, follow down to that one and then to that one, and then get stopped out at 15, 16 points, So there is a time and a place to hold on, I think. And when we have these strong trends, there's another one there which was quite nice. A failure, trapping some longs, came down. It did come back a bit, but then carried on down. So there is a time, but the more experience you get, I think you do change things and adjust things. You can't help it. The more you sit here and see these things happening in front of your eyes every day, people didn't just all of a sudden. You weren't born with strategies. Strategies came from people looking at the market, looking at price, and seeing what it was doing again and again, and that's where strategies are born. And now there's constantly new strategies from people just sitting looking at price. So, boys and girls, I'm going to leave you there. Good practice in discipline today. Not sure whether this is going to go up again. It could do. Could have a leg up a couple of times back and that, but I don't know. So I'm going to finish there. So nice week for me, even on a quiet week, up 5,500 over my account. So you do that once a week, there's a potential $20,000. I'll be chuffed to bits with half of that. So you don't need to do a lot really. Sit there nice and patiently wait for something good. It's just a shame that ATR didn't come down a bit today. But I like the fact that I can control my emotions enough to not see that and jump on that buy button. I can make a conscious decision. So, if you're carrying on trading, best of luck. Otherwise, have a really good weekend. Stay safe, and I'll be back on Monday. Hopefully, we'll have a nice, solid week. But we are definitely getting more setups. It went for a period of weeks and maybe a couple of months that there really was very little, and it was getting a little bit worrying. But price does seem to have sorted itself out a bit. So there you go. Have a great weekend. And I'll be back on Monday. Don't forget that 80% off and those other offers, the $40 and the $85 on the bigger accounts have been extended to the 14th, so for another couple of weeks. So my code's there, UKFT, UK Futures Trader. If you use it or you have used it, it does help me, and it is very much appreciated. So have a great weekend, and I'll be back on Monday and we'll do it all again. Bye for now.